Humans are silent war gods, fear the day they awaken. The stars stretched endlessly across space, shining cold and distant. Among them, a small human ship moved silently, its dark hull reflecting the faint light of distant suns. Inside, Captain Daniel Hayes watched the navigation console, his eyes calm but sharp. Around him, the crew worked quietly, each one focused on their task. There was no chatter, no jokes. Humans were patient. Humans were quiet. Humans were dangerous when they needed to be. "Distance to Zorath is decreasing," said Lily Brooks, his second in command. Her voice was calm, but it carried authority. She leaned over the screen, scanning data. "Sensors show no ships in the immediate area. The system is lightly monitored." Daniel nodded. "Good. Keep it that way. I want no attention until we know what we are dealing with." Outside the ship, the planet Zorath rotated slowly. Its surface was dark and jagged, full of mountains and craters. Cities glowed faintly in the night, a sign of life below. The humans had seen many worlds, but Zorath felt different. Its energy was tense, controlled, and intelligent. The species that lived there, the Clithians, were advanced. They had large cities, advanced ships, and weapons that could destroy most other civilizations. But humans were not most civilizations. In the control room, Ethan Clark checked the sensors again. He was younger than most of the crew, but sharp. "Captain, I am picking up a small patrol vessel near the northern orbit. It is moving slowly." "They may have noticed something, but they have not identified us yet." Daniel nodded. "Good. Let them watch. Let them think they are safe." Humans had learned long ago that patience was power. They had been underestimated for centuries. Many civilizations believed humans were weak, fragile, and easy to defeat. That belief had cost them. Humans did not shout. Humans did not boast. Humans watched. Humans learned. And when the time came, humans acted with precision that no one could anticipate. Lily pointed to a map on the screen. "Zorath Prime is heavily defended. They have orbital platforms, defensive satellites, and multiple patrol routes. But their systems are predictable. They trust their sensors too much." Daniel leaned back, thinking. He remembered the reports from other human scouts. The Clithians were arrogant. They believed that humans would be easy to trap. They thought humans were reckless and loud. They thought humans would fight like other species. "They will make a mistake," Daniel said softly. "And when they do, we will be ready." The ship moved closer to the planet, its engines silent, its presence almost invisible. On Zorath Prime, the Clithians were busy in their daily routines. Soldiers marched in perfect formation through wide streets, while ships moved above the city in careful patrols. Their leaders watched the humans with mild curiosity, unaware of what the humans were capable of. Commander Zelara, a tall Clithian with greenish-blue skin, looked at her screens. "Sensors show a human vessel in our system," she said. Her voice was calm, almost amused. "They have entered the system without announcement. How bold, how reckless." Her second, a smaller Clithian named Triv, tilted his head. "Do we attack, Commander?" Zelara shook her head. "No, humans are weak. Observe them. Let them come closer. It will be amusing when we capture them." On board the human ship, Daniel watched the patrol patterns of the aliens. "They trust their rules too much," he said. "We will use that." Lily smiled slightly. "It is strange. Every civilization we meet believes humans are simple, and every civilization is wrong." Daniel nodded. "Let's make sure they stay wrong." Below the ship, the surface of Zorath was alive with movement. Drones flew in formation, and robotic workers built structures that gleamed in the alien sun. The Clithians had built a world of order, efficiency, and control. But no system was perfect, and humans had learned to find the cracks. Ethan spoke again, his voice steady. "Captain, we can land at the South Ridge. It is lightly monitored, and sensors indicate minimal patrols. We can gather more information from the ground before they realize we are here." Daniel looked at the planet below. It was dark, dangerous, but also full of opportunity. Prepare the landing pods. We go in quiet, no mistakes, no alarms, keep it small, keep it silent. Maya Thompson, the human scout assigned to reconnaissance, checked her equipment. She carried nothing more than what she needed. Humans did not rely on force alone, they relied on intelligence. She smiled slightly, feeling the thrill of the mission. To be underestimated was always an advantage. The landing pods detached from the ship, moving silently through space. They approached the surface, slipping between satellite patrols and avoiding detection. Below, the Clithians continued their routines, confident in their superiority. They had no idea that the humans were already among them, observing, learning, and planning. On the ground, Daniel, Lily, Ethan, and Maya moved quickly and efficiently. Every step was calculated. Every movement was precise. They did not make noise, they did not reveal themselves. The city seemed peaceful, but every shadow held danger, and humans thrived in danger. Look at their patrol routes, Ethan whispered. They repeat the same paths every hour. They never vary. Their confidence is their weakness. Lily nodded. Perfect, we will use that. Daniel crouched behind a large metal container. Observe first, attack later. Humans are never first to strike, but when we strike with power they cannot imagine. The Clithians continued to monitor their systems, oblivious to the humans nearby. Commander Zelara smiled as she watched her screens. They are foolish. They have no idea what they face. But humans did not need to face fear or arrogance with words. They acted with patience, with strategy, and with calm. Every human had been trained to survive, to adapt, and to overcome. They had faced impossible odds before and survived. And now, on Zarath, they would show the Clithians that silence could be more dangerous than noise, patience more deadly than rage, and intelligence more powerful than brute strength. Maya signaled the others. They moved closer to a monitoring station, hiding in the shadows, using their small human size to remain unseen. Ethan hacked the local communication system, carefully avoiding detection. Information flowed through his hands, showing the weaknesses, the schedules, and the blind spots of the alien defenders. Lily smiled faintly. Every civilization thinks they are unique, but all civilizations make mistakes. Humans learn those mistakes quickly. Daniel looked at the city before them. We will not destroy it yet, not until we know enough. Humans are patient. Humans wait, and when the time comes, no one will be ready. As the night grew darker, the humans continued their silent work. They gathered information, studied defenses, and prepared for the moment that would come. And far above, in the alien command center, Commander Zelara began to feel an unfamiliar sense of doubt. The humans were too calm, too clever, too quiet. And that was the first sign that humans were not what they seemed. Humans were silent war gods, and the Clithians would soon learn why silence could be more terrifying than the loudest scream. Daniel whispered to his team, "Remember this, all of you. No one respects the quiet until it is too late. We are not here to be noticed. We are here to be ready, and one day they will fear us." The humans moved through the shadows of the alien city, unseen, unnoticed, and unstoppable. They were patient, calculating, and silent. They were not warriors in the way the aliens expected. They were far worse. They were humans, and humans were awakening. The humans moved carefully through the streets of Zorath Prime. The city was alive with light, movement, and noise, but the humans were like shadows. They moved silently, blending into alleys and behind buildings. Every step was measured, every movement precise. Maya Thompson led the way, her small size and quick reflexes helping her stay hidden. She glanced at Ethan Clark, who followed closely, carrying a portable scanner. The scanner was small, but it allowed them to see security patrols, cameras, and communication lines. Humans were not reckless. Humans prepared. Humans learned. "Patrol coming from the east," Maya whispered. She pressed her back against a wall, waiting for the guards to pass. "Keep calm, move slowly." Lily Brooks nodded, signaling Daniel Hayes to stay low. Daniel moved carefully, observing everything. Humans had learned that the best weapon was information. Attack without knowledge was dangerous. Observation and understanding gave humans an advantage no alien species could imagine. The Clithians believed humans were loud, brash, and easy to provoke. They had studied human history and assumed that humans would fight in predictable ways. They were wrong. Humans were silent, patient, and deadly in ways no one expected. They reached a small communications hub on the edge of the city. It was lightly guarded, and the humans knew they had a chance to gather more information. Ethan activated the scanner and quickly found a weak point in the Clithian network. "I can get into their main communication system," Ethan whispered. "It will take time, but I can see their patrol schedules, defense grids, and strategic maps." Daniel nodded. "Do it, carefully. Every second counts." As Ethan worked, Maya and Lily kept watch. Shadows moved along the streets, Clithian patrols checking the city as if it were perfectly safe. The aliens were arrogant. They assumed the humans were explorers, perhaps scientists, not a threat. That arrogance would be their weakness. Inside the communication hub, Ethan's fingers moved quickly. The human had learned to work with technology from many worlds. Aliens often built systems that were complex but predictable. Humans could find patterns where others saw chaos. "Got it," Ethan said quietly after a few minutes. "I can see all the patrols in this sector. Their weapons platforms, their drone paths, everything. They are confident, but they repeat the same patterns every day. They never vary. Predictability is their mistake." Maya smiled. "Perfect. We will use that. Every mistake counts. Every weakness counts." Daniel studied the holographic map Ethan displayed. "Good work. Now we know where they are weak, but we do not act yet. Humans wait. Humans prepare. Timing is everything." Meanwhile, high above, Commander Zelara watched her screens. Something was troubling her. The humans were too quiet, too clever. They had entered the system without alerting any of her ships. Now they seemed to be moving through the city without being detected. "They are too calm," Zelara said to Triv. "There is something about them. They are not like the other species we have studied." Triv shook his head. "They are humans, Commander, weak, primitive. We should capture them and study them." Zelara's eyes narrowed. "Perhaps. But there is something in their silence. I do not trust it. Humans are too quiet for their own good, or perhaps too quiet for us." Back on the ground, the humans continued their work. They moved from shadow to shadow, gathering information and remaining invisible. They did not panic, even when a patrol came closer than expected. They simply held their positions, letting the patrol pass, studying the aliens as they moved. "Look at them," Maya whispered. "They think they are safe. They do not see us." "They do not even consider that we are watching," Daniel nodded. "That is exactly what we want. Humans are never noticed until it is too late, and when the time comes, humans strike with precision." Hours passed, and the humans gathered more intelligence. They learned the schedules of the patrols, the locations of the weapons platforms, and the routines of the city's inhabitants. Every piece of information gave them an advantage. Humans thrived on knowledge. "Captain," Lily said quietly, "their main defensive hub is here." She pointed to a holographic map. "If we ever need to disable their sensors, this is where we go, but it is heavily guarded. We cannot just rush in." Daniel studied the map. "We will not rush. Humans never rush. We wait, we watch, and we act only when the moment is right. The Clithians think they control this city. They do not know the truth yet." As night deepened, the city seemed peaceful, but tension hung in the air. The humans moved quietly, using alleys, rooftops, and shadows to avoid detection. Every step was deliberate. Every action was measured. Then, a sudden sound broke the silence. A Clithian drone moved near their position, scanning the area with bright lights. Maya froze. Ethan stopped moving. Daniel held his breath. The drone hovered for a moment, its sensors sweeping the ground. The humans did not move. They did not make a sound. And then the drone continued on its patrol, unaware of the humans mere meters away. "Perfect," Daniel whispered. "They do not see us. Patience wins. Observation wins. Humans are patient, and that is why we survive." The humans continued through the city, reaching a vantage point near the northern edge. From here, they could see much of the city, including the patrol routes, weapons platforms, and important buildings. The information they gathered would be invaluable when the time came to strike. "Everything is in place," Ethan said. "We have their routines, their weaknesses, and their blind spots. If we needed to, we could control this sector without being seen." Maya nodded. "And that is the advantage humans have. They do not rush into battle. They do not act without reason. They wait. And when the time comes, no one can stop them." Daniel looked at the city below. "We will not act yet. Humans wait. Humans plan. Humans do not fight for glory or anger. Humans fight for survival and victory. And when we fight, we are unstoppable." As the humans rested in their hidden position, Commander Zelara began to feel unease again. She watched the city, trying to sense the humans, but she could not find them. She ordered additional patrols, increased scanning, and checked the sensors repeatedly, but the humans remained invisible. "They are clever," she said. "Too clever. Humans are not like the other species we have faced. There is something dangerous about them. Something we do not understand." Back in the shadows, the humans prepared for the next stage of their mission. They would continue to observe, gather intelligence, and remain unnoticed. Their goal was simple: learn everything about the aliens, understand their weaknesses, and be ready for the day they needed to act. Lily spoke quietly to Daniel. "They think they are in control. They do not see us. They do not even suspect that we are already learning everything about them." Daniel smiled faintly. "And that is why humans are strong. We are patient, quiet, and smart. We do not rush. We do not make mistakes. And when the time comes, humans strike like lightning." Night turned into early morning, but the humans remained hidden. They moved only when necessary, gathering more data and staying out of sight. Every patrol, every drone, every camera was noted, mapped, and memorized. Humans prepared for the future, knowing that preparation was the first step toward victory. In the alien command center, Zelara grew more concerned. "They are ghosts," she said. "They are everywhere and nowhere at the same time. We cannot detect them." "How can a species so small be so invisible?" Triv shook his head. "Commander, they are just humans. They cannot be that strong." Zelara's eyes narrowed. "Do not underestimate them, Triv. Humans are patient. Humans learn. And humans are dangerous." On the ground, the humans finally gathered at a safe location. Daniel looked at his team. "Good work today. We learned much. We saw much. We are invisible and we are ready. Humans are never rushed, never careless. And that is why we survive." Maya smiled. "They will never see us coming. Not until it is too late," Daniel nodded. "And when the time comes, humans will show what it means to awaken. The Clithians think they control this world. They are wrong. Humans are silent war gods, and one day they will fear what humans can do." The humans rested for the night, still hidden, still silent, still watching. Outside, Zoreth Prime continued its routines, unaware that a force more patient, clever, and deadly than anything they had faced was already among them. And humans waited. Humans always waited. The humans remained hidden on Zoreth Prime, watching, learning, and waiting. Daniel Hayes sat quietly on a rooftop with Lily Brooks beside him. The city stretched below, a maze of lights, buildings, and moving shapes. From this vantage point, the humans could see the patrols, the drones, and the routines of the Clithians. Everything repeated itself like clockwork. "They are predictable," Lily said softly. "Every patrol, every shift, every routine is exactly the same. They do not change." "They trust their rules too much," Daniel nodded. "Perfect. Predictability is weakness. Patience is power. Humans wait. Humans plan. Humans strike when the time is right." Maya Thompson crouched near the edge of the roof, her eyes scanning the streets below. "We have everything we need to make our move," she whispered. "We know the patrols, the weapons platforms, the command centers. We can hit them anywhere, anytime." Ethan Clark checked his portable console again. "And they still have no idea we are here. They think the city is safe. That is their mistake." The humans were patient, but they were also ready. They had studied the aliens for days, learning everything about their systems, their strengths, and their weaknesses. Humans were not reckless. Humans did not act without reason. But when the time came, humans could move with a speed and power no one expected. Daniel turned to his team. "Listen carefully. The Clithians are planning a strike against a nearby human colony. They do not know we are here. They do not suspect our presence, but if they attack, many will die. We cannot allow that." Lily's eyes narrowed. "We need a plan. We cannot fight them openly yet, not until we have the advantage. Humans always prepare before they act." Daniel nodded. "Exactly. We will set traps. We will control the battlefield without being seen, and when they make their first move, they will not know what hit them." On the streets below, Clithian patrols continued their routines. Commander Zelara monitored the city from her command center. She had begun to feel unease. The humans were too clever, too silent. She increased the number of drones and sent more patrols, but the humans remained invisible. "They are ghosts," she said to Triv. "Every time we think we see them, they disappear. We cannot track them. They are learning everything about us." Triv frowned. "They are just humans. How dangerous can they be?" Zelara's eyes narrowed. "Do not underestimate them. Humans are patient, humans are clever, and humans are dangerous." Back on the rooftop, Daniel outlined the plan. "First, we use their predictability against them. We create false trails, make them think we are in one place while we prepare elsewhere. Then, we set traps along the routes they will use for their attack." Ethan nodded. "I have already identified weak points in their defenses. We can disable communications and weapons platforms quietly without being detected." Maya smiled. "They will never see us coming. They will think they control the battlefield, but we control everything." Lily looked at Daniel. "Humans are not like other species. We do not rush. We do not act out of anger, we wait, and that is why we are strong." Daniel's gaze was steady. "Yes, and today they will begin to learn the truth. Humans are silent war gods, and when we strike, no one will be ready." The humans moved through the city like shadows, planting small devices, marking patrol routes and setting traps. Everything was calculated. Nothing was left to chance. The Clithians continued their routines, confident that the humans were weak and harmless. Maya checked a sensor device she had placed near a weapons platform. "This will disable their defenses for a short time," she whispered. "Just long enough for us to move in and control the area." Ethan nodded. "Good. I have another device that will scramble their communications. They will be blind and confused when the time comes." Daniel looked at the city below. "Patience, observation, preparation. These are the tools humans use, and they will learn too late that patience can be more deadly than force." Hours passed. The humans continued their work, moving silently and efficiently. They avoided patrols, hid from drones, and observed the aliens without being seen. The Clithians trusted their routines, unaware that the humans were already planning their next moves. Commander Zelara grew more anxious. "Increase patrols in every sector," she ordered. "Search every building, scan every alley. We cannot allow them to hide." Triv shook his head. "Commander, they are humans. We will find them eventually." Zelara's eyes narrowed. "I hope you are right, but I fear that we have underestimated them." Back on the ground, Daniel and his team prepared the final part of their plan. They had studied the aliens for days, learned their routines, and identified their weaknesses. Now they would wait for the right moment to strike. Lily checked a device that would disrupt the Clithians' drones. "When we activate this, they will lose surveillance. Their patrols will be blind, and we will control the battlefield without them knowing." Daniel nodded. Good. Everything is ready. Humans wait. Humans watch. Humans strike only when the moment is perfect. As night fell, the humans moved to their final positions. They were quiet, calm, and ready. The city seemed peaceful, but beneath the surface, tension grew. The Clithians were confident, but their confidence was based on ignorance. They did not see the humans moving in the shadows, preparing, waiting. Suddenly, a patrol approached Maya's position. She froze, holding her breath as the aliens passed just meters away. She did not move, did not make a sound. The patrol continued, unaware of the humans hiding nearby. Perfect, Daniel whispered through the calm. They do not see us. Patience wins. Observation wins. Humans are never rushed. Humans are always ready. The humans continued their silent work throughout the night. They gathered the last pieces of information, activated traps, and set devices in place. Everything was calculated, precise, and invisible. The Clithians were unaware of the danger moving among them. By early morning, the humans had completed their preparations. Ethan looked at the maps and devices. Everything is in place. They will never know what hit them. Maya smiled. They think they control this city. They do not even know we exist. Daniel nodded. Humans wait. Humans plan. Humans strike only when the moment is right, and today the moment is near. Above the city, Commander Zelara watched her screens, growing more uneasy. The humans were still invisible. Her patrols showed nothing. Her drones detected nothing unusual. But something in her mind told her that danger was coming. They are clever, she said quietly, too clever. Humans are patient, and patience can be deadly. We have made a mistake by underestimating them. Triv frowned. They are just humans. How dangerous can they be? Zelara's eyes narrowed. Do not be foolish. Humans are silent. Humans observe. And when they act, no one can stop them. On the ground, the humans prepared for the first stage of their plan. They had traps set, communications disrupted, and patrols misled. Everything was ready. Daniel looked at his team. Remember this, he said. Today we show the Clithians the truth. Humans are not loud or reckless. Humans are silent, patient, and precise. And that is why we win. Lily, Maya, and Ethan nodded. They had trained for this. They had studied, prepared, and waited. And now the moment had come. The first alarm sounded, but it was not from the Clithians. It was from the devices the humans had planted. Lights flickered, communications scrambled, and patrols were confused. The Clithians reacted too slowly, trying to understand what was happening. Now, Daniel whispered, humans strike. The humans moved through the city, activating more devices, taking control of strategic points and remaining unseen. Drones crashed, patrols were misled, and weapons platforms shut down. The Clithians were confused and disoriented. Commander Zelara shouted orders, but her commands were ignored. The humans had taken control without ever being seen. Her confidence shattered. They are everywhere, she said. We cannot stop them. How is this possible? Daniel and his team continued their silent work, controlling the battlefield with precision. They did not rush. They did not panic. They acted only when necessary, using the Clithians' arrogance and predictability against them. By morning, the first stage of the plan was complete. The humans had taken control of the city's key points without a single human being detected. The Clithians were confused, scared, and unprepared. Daniel looked at his team. Good work. Today they learned a lesson. Humans are patient. Humans are clever. Humans are dangerous, and the Clithians will never forget it. Lily smiled. This is only the beginning. Humans wait. Humans strike, and humans always win when they are ready. The humans disappeared into the shadows once again, leaving the Clithians to deal with the chaos they could not understand. The aliens had learned the first lesson: never underestimate humans, and humans waited. Humans always waited. The city of Zoreth Prime was no longer calm. Lights flickered across tall buildings. Drones moved without pattern, some crashing into walls, others falling silent in the streets below. Communication towers blinked on and off, unable to send clear signals. Clithian soldiers ran through the streets, confused and afraid. They did not know who the enemy was. They did not know where the enemy was. That was the worst part. Commander Zelara stood in the command center, her claws pressed tightly against the console. Screens showed chaos across the city. Patrols were lost. Weapons platforms were offline. Orders were not reaching their targets. "This makes no sense," she said sharply. "We have full control systems. How can they fail all at once?" Triv stood beside her, his confidence gone. "Commander, the humans, they must be responsible." Zelara turned slowly. "No, humans are weak. That is what we were told." She paused, then looked back at the screens. "But weak beings do not do this." Far below, hidden in the shadows of the city, Daniel Hayes watched the confusion spread. He stayed calm. His breathing was steady. This was exactly what he expected. "They are panicking," Lily Brooks said quietly through the calm. "Their patrols are breaking formation." "They are reacting, not thinking," Daniel nodded. "Good. Panic destroys discipline. Discipline wins wars." Maya Thompson watched a group of Clithian soldiers run past her position, shouting to each other in fear. They did not look up. They did not scan the rooftops. "They still do not see us," she whispered. Ethan Clark checked his device. "Their main communication grid is collapsing. They are trying to reroute signals, but they are too slow. They rely on systems, not thinking." Daniel's voice remained calm. "Humans adapt. Machines do not." The first human ships moved into position above the planet. They did not announce themselves. They did not broadcast threats. They appeared silently, dark shapes against the stars. To the Clithians, it was as if space itself had turned against them. In orbit, human pilots waited for orders. Their ships were advanced but simple, built for efficiency, not beauty, built to survive, not impress. "Hold position," Daniel ordered. "Do not fire unless necessary." The pilots obeyed without question. Humans trusted each other. Trust was their strength. On the surface, alarms finally began to sound across the city. Clithian soldiers rushed to defensive positions, but their weapons failed to respond. Their targeting systems could not lock on. Their sensors showed false signals and empty space. "They are blind," Lily said, "completely blind." Daniel watched carefully. "Do not underestimate a cornered enemy. Fear makes beings unpredictable." In the command center, Zelara slammed her fist against the console. "Find them. I want the humans found now." Triv hesitated. "Commander, we cannot. They are not on our sensors. They are not where they should be." Zelara felt something new rise inside her. Not anger, not pride, fear. "How does a species do this?" she whispered. "How do they control a city without being seen?" Back in the shadows, the humans moved. They did not run. They did not rush. They moved like water flowing through the city, avoiding conflict when possible, striking only when needed. A Clithian patrol entered a narrow street. Lights flickered. The patrol stopped, confused. Moments later, their weapons shut down, doors locked around them. The humans were gone before the soldiers understood what had happened. "Another sector secured," Ethan reported. Maya nodded. "No casualties, no alarms." Daniel allowed himself a small breath. "Good." Humans do not kill unless there is no other choice. Above the city, a Clithian defense platform finally powered up. Its weapons turned toward orbit, searching for targets. Lily saw it first. "Captain, one platform is active. It could fire." Daniel did not hesitate. "Disable it." A single human ship moved. One precise shot struck the platform's control core. The platform went dark, drifting silently in space. No explosion, no warning, just silence. The Clithians watched from the surface in horror. Their strongest defenses had fallen without a fight. Commander Zelara stared at the screen. "They destroyed it with one strike," she said quietly. Triv's voice shook. "Commander, these humans are not warriors, they are something else." Zelara swallowed. "They are war gods," she said. "Silent ones." Across the city, Clithian morale collapsed. Soldiers hesitated. Officers argued. Orders conflicted. The humans did not press the attack. They waited. "Why are we not advancing?" Maya asked softly. Daniel answered calmly. "Because fear will do more damage than force. Let them understand what is happening." Lily watched the city feeds. "They are breaking down. Entire units are standing still. They do not know what to do." Daniel nodded. "They have never faced an enemy they cannot see." In the command center, Zelara finally made her decision. "Open all channels," she ordered. "Send a message to the humans." The signal reached Daniel moments later. A calm alien voice filled the comm. "Human Commander, this is Commander Zelara of Zorath Prime. We request communication." Daniel looked at his team. "So they are ready to talk." He opened the channel. "This is Captain Daniel Hayes. Speak." Zelara straightened. "You have disabled our city without open battle. You have shown power beyond expectation. State your intent." Daniel's voice was steady. "We are here because you plan to attack a human colony. That attack will not happen." Zelara hesitated. "We believed humans were weak." Daniel did not raise his voice. "That belief was your mistake." Silence followed. Finally, Zelara spoke again. "What do you want?" Daniel answered simply, "Peace and respect. Withdraw your forces. End all plans against human worlds. If you do, we leave." Zelara felt the weight of his words. "And if we refuse," Daniel paused, "then you will see how humans fight when fully awake." The threat was not loud. It was not angry. That made it terrifying. Zelara closed her eyes for a moment. She thought of her city, her people, her ships drifting powerless in space. "We withdraw," she said. "All operations against humans will end." Daniel nodded. "Wise choice." The channel closed. Around the city, systems slowly returned to normal. Patrols stood down. Weapons remained inactive. The humans faded back into the shadows. Maya let out a quiet breath. They agreed. Lily smiled faintly. They had no other choice. Ethan checked his device. All traps disengaged. No trace left behind. Daniel looked out over the city one last time. "Remember this moment," he said. "We won without destroying a world." Above the planet, human ships turned away, vanishing into the darkness of space. On Zorath Prime, Commander Zelara stood alone, staring at the stars. "We were wrong," she whispered. "Humans are not loud conquerors. They are patient gods of war." Far away, the human fleet moved silently toward home. The humans returned to orbit, moving silently above Zorath Prime. Their ships were dark and quiet, leaving no trace of their presence. Below, the Clithians began to regroup, still shaken from the events of the previous day. Patrols that had been so confident now moved cautiously, their soldiers unsure of what had happened or who had caused it. Captain Daniel Hayes looked at his team aboard the flagship. "This is only the beginning," he said calmly. "The Clithians have learned their first lesson. They will respect humans now, but they must also fear us. Fear is a tool as powerful as any weapon." Lily Brooks nodded. "They were arrogant. They underestimated humans, and it almost cost them everything." Ethan Clark studied the data from the city below. "All systems are back online, but morale is very low. Their command structure is fractured. They are debating what to do next." Maya Thompson leaned back, her eyes distant. "They have seen humans at work. They know we are capable of more than they thought. They may not admit it, but they are afraid." Daniel allowed himself a small smile. "Good. Fear is earned, not demanded, and humans earn it silently, without shouting, without boasting." High above, in the Clithian command center, Commander Zelara paced. She had called her top officers together to review what had happened. Every report painted the same picture. Humans had controlled the city without being seen, disrupted weapons and communication systems, and vanished without leaving a trace. "This cannot happen again," she said, her voice firm but quiet. "We underestimated humans. We trusted our systems more than our instincts. We will not make that mistake twice." Triv, her second, looked uneasy. "Commander, do you think humans will strike again?" Zelara's eyes narrowed. They may or they may wait. That is the frightening part. Humans do not rush. They do not act without reason. But when they strike, it will be unstoppable. Back on the human flagship, Daniel gathered his senior officers. We have shown strength without unnecessary violence. That is the human way. We do not destroy unless it is necessary, but we also do not allow threats to our people to succeed. The Clithians learned that lesson. Lily spoke quietly. What comes next, Captain? Do we leave or do we prepare for more? Daniel's eyes were steady. We never stop preparing. We will monitor the system. We will continue to gather intelligence. But we also move forward. Humans do not linger where we have proven power. We act when needed, but we remain unseen when observation serves us better. Ethan nodded. Sensors show no immediate threats. Their forces are disorganized. They are more careful now, but they are still predictable. Maya added, and that predictability will make them easier to manage if they ever try again. Daniel looked at the stars, the vastness of space stretching before them. Humans are silent war gods. We wait, we watch, and when the moment comes, we awaken fully. The galaxy has seen the beginning of that awakening. Others will see it in time. The human fleet moved away from Zoreth Prime, slipping into hyperspace. The Clithians watched the sky, unable to follow. They had underestimated humans, and now their confidence had been shattered. On Zoreth Prime, life slowly returned to a semblance of normal. Soldiers resumed patrols, but they moved cautiously. Leaders debated how to prevent a repeat of what had happened, and somewhere in the quiet corners of the city, fear lingered. Commander Zelara stood on a balcony overlooking the alien city. The sun rose over jagged mountains and spired towers. She felt a weight she had not known before. Humans are different, she whispered. They are not loud. They are not reckless. They are patient. They are unstoppable if they choose to be. In the human flagship, Daniel convened a meeting with the entire senior crew. We must send reports to other human colonies, he said. The galaxy is vast. Threats are everywhere. But humans have shown what we are capable of when we awaken. Other civilizations must know that attacking humans will have consequences beyond their understanding. Lily looked at him. And the Clithians, will they attack again? Daniel shook his head. Not soon. They know we are patient. They know we are precise. They fear what they do not see, and fear is a powerful deterrent. Ethan spoke up. They may try to rebuild confidence, but their systems were flawed. Humans exploited those flaws without even being noticed. They will remember that for a long time. Maya added, humans have done more than survive. We have proven we can control situations without chaos. That is something they cannot understand yet. Daniel nodded. Yes, that is why humans are strong. We do not need to shout. We do not need to boast. We simply act, and our actions speak louder than words. The galaxy will learn this over time. Back on Zoreth Prime, Commander Zelara continued to analyze the events. She reviewed the reports of every drone, every patrol, every communication system that had failed. Humans had not attacked with full force. They had only demonstrated capability. Yet the result was total control of the city for a short time. They are not like other species, she said aloud. They do not need to destroy everything to win. They are calm, patient, and deadly. Triv, still uneasy, asked, Do you think humans will come again? Zelara looked at the stars in silence. Perhaps, but that is not the point. They have already shown what happens when they awaken. The galaxy will know their power, even if they wait to use it again. In the human fleet, Daniel observed the navigation charts. We leave Zoreth Prime in peace, he said. We do not need to destroy them. Humans are not driven by anger. We are driven by necessity, preparation, and survival. That is what makes us strong. Lily smiled faintly. We have done what was needed. They will remember it. Ethan nodded. And we have gathered more intelligence. Our mission is far from over, but we have succeeded today. Daniel turned to Maya. Your work was excellent. You moved through the city without being seen, gathered vital information, and set traps that controlled their systems without a single casualty. That is what humans do. We are precise, silent, and effective. Maya smiled, proud but calm. We did what we had to do. That is what humans are. The human fleet continued through space, leaving Zoreth Prime behind. Below, the Clithians slowly recovered, but fear lingered in the minds of their leaders. Patrols became more cautious. Weapons were double-checked. Communications were monitored obsessively. And everywhere, humans had left a mark. On the flagship, Daniel looked at the crew. "Remember this day. Remember what we have done. We have awakened without destroying a world, without unnecessary bloodshed. We have shown that humans are patient, clever, and unstoppable when needed." Lily nodded. "And the galaxy has seen it, even if they do not understand it yet." Ethan smiled. "We have set an example, one that others will fear if they forget." Maya looked out the window at the stars. "And humans will continue to watch. We will always be ready. That is what makes us strong." Daniel placed a hand on the console. "Yes, humans are silent war gods. We wait. We observe. And when the moment comes, we awaken fully. The galaxy has learned the first lesson. There will be more, and each lesson will be remembered." In the distance, other star systems continued their routines, unaware of what had happened on Zoreth Prime. But the humans knew. They had acted. They had awakened. The message was clear. Humans do not boast. Humans do not threaten. Humans do not need to shout. Humans are silent. Humans are patient. Humans are war gods, and the galaxy must fear the day they awaken fully. Daniel closed his eyes for a moment and whispered to himself, "The first warning has been given. Let them remember it." The human fleet moved into the vast darkness of space, silent, calm, and ready. The Clithians would rebuild. They would recover. But they would never forget what humans were capable of. The galaxy had changed, not with noise or fire, but with quiet, precise action. Humans had awakened, and the galaxy would never be the same again.